Hi Smarters, I'm Nomnisi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. So today we're gonna focus on chapter 1, which is algebra. So the first thing we're gonna solve for x by factorizing, where we're gonna use trinomials, meals, as you see. The second one is common factors. The third one is difference of two squares. So we're gonna look at some few examples for me in order to elaborate more on the content. So the first example will be x squared minus 3x equal to 4. So firstly, we have to put the equation in standard form. The standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. But since it's an equation, we have to equate to 0. So we're going to have x squared minus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Then since we have a negative in our constant, this means that they multiplied a positive and a negative, or a negative multiplied by a positive in order to get this. But we have to know the factors of 4. So the factors of 4 is 2 multiplied by 2 and 4 multiplied by 1. So since we know that the middle term is higher, we're gonna use this. So the bigger factor must be a negative, then the small factor must be a positive. So we're gonna factorize and have x minus 4 and x plus 1, equating them to 0. So it's either x equal to 4 or x equal to negative 1. The second example is to take out a common factor, the number b. X squared minus 3x must be equal to 0. So since we have a common factor of x, we can take out x. We'll be left with x minus 3 equal to 0. It's either x equal to 0 or x must be equal to 3. So we're going to look at the last example, which is the difference of two squares, which can be x squared equal to 4. Firstly, we have to rearrange it. Going to have x squared minus 4 equal to 0. Then this is the difference between 2 squared. This one is 2 squared. So gonna have x minus 2 and x plus 2 as our conjugates, equate them to 0. Therefore, x equal to 2 or x equal to negative 2. The second scenario is solving for x. Solve for x by using quadratic formula. So quadratic formula is x equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we use this equation in a form where we cannot be able to factorize or take out a common factor. So we're gonna do an example. Okay, the example is 2x squared equal to 4. So since we have to put it in standard form, we'll have 2x squared minus 4 equal to 0. So our a is 2, our b is equal to 0, and our c will be negative 4. So we just substitute equal to negative into our b, which is 0, plus or minus square root of 0 squared minus 4. Our a is 2, then c is negative 4, all over 2 into 2. Then x equal to or x equal to. Then we have to put it inside our calculator. So we're gonna have negative 0, the square root of, we're gonna start with a positive, then 0 squared minus 4 into our a, which is 2, then negative 4 all over 2 into 2. The first answer will be 1,41 or we put a negative for the second answer and see what we get. We get negative 1,41. Sorry, so this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. Then now we're gonna do inequalities by use of a number line or a graph. So the example of an inequality, the first example will be x squared minus 3x less than 4. So firstly we have to rearrange, put it in standard form. It's gonna be x squared minus 3x minus 4 less than 0. So we have to know that less than 0, it means negative, and then greater than 0 means positive, right? So we have two conditions where we have this sign and this other sign. So this one, since it's facing it's greater, we can say it's an and. Then this one can be an or, right? So here we'll have to factorize. We'll have x minus 4 and x plus 1 less than 0. Therefore, we get our critical values to be x equal to 4 or x equal to negative 1. These are our critical values. So we're going to draw our number line. We'll have negative 1 and 4. So since we have an and, we'll put only one x and take the sign will be less than and less than. So since this needs to be rearranged, it means that x must be greater than negative 1. This means this one is going to face this direction and the other one this direction. But we need to remember that this is positive and negative. But we have to remember that since it's an and, we must have this. Therefore, negative 1 is less than x less than 4. The second example will have 1 greater than or equal to 4 over x plus 2. So to simplify our life, we can kill the fraction by multiplying on both sides by x plus 2 all squared greater than or equal to 4 divided by x plus 2. Multiply this by x plus 2 all squared, so that this can cancel. One can cancel this, and then we multiply this side. We'll have x squared plus this multiplied by this, which is 4x, plus this squared, which is 4 greater than or equal to 4x plus 8. Then we also have the conditions. So less than or equal to 0 means negative or 0. Then greater than or equal to 0 means means positive or 0. So we're gonna simplify this further. It's gonna be x squared plus the 4x minus 4x plus the 4 minus 8 greater than or equal to 0. Then we'll have x squared. This will cancel out. We'll have negative 4 greater than or equal to 0. So this is a difference between two squares. We'll have x minus 2 and x plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. Then x equal to 2 or x equal to negative 2. These are our critical values. So since we know that we have to put under a number line, we will have negative 2 and 2. This is negative, positive, and positive. So since it's an or, this is an or, just like we said firstly. That's if it's greater than, it's an or. So it means that we have to shade, since it has a equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, we have to shade. Then x or x, we're gonna put this sign, this or equal to that, greater than or equal to. Therefore it means that x must be less than or equal to negative 2, or x must be greater than or equal to or greater than or equal to 2. But then this is not correct. This is not correct. X must be less than -2. While because we have to substitute this back. So the denominator, since we have a denominator of x plus 2, hence x must not be equal to -2, because -2 plus 2 equal to 0, which will make 4 over x plus 2 undefined, right? The next scenario will be solving for x. Solve for x, insert. So the step is that we have to square both sides of the equation. Then we solve. The second one is to substitute x values to check if x values are valid. So we're gonna look at an example, which is gonna be 2 square root of x plus 3 minus x equal to 3. So firstly, we have to transpose this to that side. Will be 2 square root of x plus 3 equal to x plus 3. Then we square so that we can remove the square root. Then this squared is gonna be 4. This squared, the square root will cancel out. We'll have x plus 3 equal to this squared, it's x squared. This multiplied by this multiplied by this plus 6x plus 9. Then we simplify. We'll have 4x plus 3 equal to x squared plus 6x plus 9. So we'll have x squared plus 6x, we transpose with negative 4x, plus 9, we transpose be -3. Oh, sorry. This multiplied by this is a 12. Then there's gonna be 12. Equate to 0. Then we have x squared plus the 2x minus 3 equal to 0. And then we factorize, we get x plus 3 and x minus 1 equal to 0. And then after, it's either x equal to -3 or x equal to 1. Then we have to substitute back to the equation to check if our values are valid. So we're gonna substitute 2 square root of, first value is -3, we'll have -3 plus 3, then minus into -3, give us 3. Then it means that the value is valid. The first value is fine. We substitute the second one to be 1 plus 3 minus 1. The second value is also valid. Therefore, both of them are correct. Then now we look at simultaneous equations. So the steps, number A is to make x or y the subject in the simpler equation. In order to check, like, this means that we have to look for the one with the lowest power. So the second step is to substitute x or y in the other equation and solve. Let's look at this example. We have to solve for x and y. Solve for x and y. We have 2 exponent x minus 1 equal to 8 to the y, and we have x squared plus the 2xy minus y squared equal to 23. So we have to find the one with the simpler equation. So since here we have this, so we can change to the same base, which is gonna be 2x minus 1 equal to 2 cubed multiplied by 1. Then we have 2x minus 1 equal to 2 exponent 3y. So since we have the same base, we can equate the exponent. X minus 1 equal to 3y. Therefore, x equal to 3y plus 1. Then this can be our equation 1. Why? Because the power is 1. It's the lowest power, but this has greater power. So it means that x squared plus the 2xy minus y squared equals to 23 is going to be our second equation. Let me rewrite my equation. Then we said we have x equal to 3y plus 1 is our equation 1. Then equation 2 is x squared plus the 2xy minus y squared equal to 23. This is our second equation. Then we have to substitute equation 1 into the other, which is equation 2. Then we'll have 3y plus 1 squared. Where there's an x, you substitute this, plus 2y into 3y plus 1 minus y squared equal to 23. And then we simplify. This multiplied by this is 9y squared. This multiplied by this multiplied by this, it's gonna be positive 6y, then plus 1 squared, which is 1, plus this multiplied by this 6y squared, plus this multiplied by this 2y minus y squared. Then we transpose this to this side, minus 23 equal to 0. Then we have like terms, 9y squared plus 6y squared minus y squared, which is gonna be 14y squared. Then 6y plus 2y is gonna be plus 8y. 1 minus 2, 3, which is minus 22 equal to 0. Then we can divide by a 2 since it's our common factor. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, we'll have 7y squared plus the 4y minus 11 equal to 0. So for you to get the factors, since we know the factors of 11 is 11 multiplied by 1, but since it's negative, it means that they multiply the positive by a negative. But then since the middle term is a positive, it means that our 11 must be positive, must be in the same brackets as 7, since this one is greater. So we'll have y minus 1 into 7y plus 11 equal to 0, or you simply take your calculator, use the quadratic formula. In this case, gonna be y equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You can substitute and get your values. So if you get a positive 1, it means that inside the bracket it must be negative. If you get the other way around, it's the opposite sign. Therefore our y is equal to 1, or our y is equal to negative 11 over 7. Then we have to substitute y equal to 1 or y equal to negative 11 over 7 into equation 1. Our equation 1 is x equal to 3y plus 1. Then it's equal to 3 into 1 plus 1. This is equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. Or x equal to 3y plus 1 equal to 3 into 11, negative 11 over 7 plus a 1, which is equal to, then we punch our calculator, 3 into negative 11 over 7 plus 1. Then we have negative 26 over 7. So therefore we'll have 4 and 1, and we have negative 26 over 7, negative 11 and over 7. Then to test if our answer is correct, we can substitute any of this or this in an equation. So the proof, It's not necessary for you to write this. I'm just showing you so that you know. Then we have x squared plus a 2xy minus y squared equals to 23. I'm gonna use the second equation. Our x is a 4 squared plus 2 into 4. Our y is 1 minus 1 squared equals to, this is our left hand side. Sorry, then 4 squared plus a 2 into 4 into a 1 minus 1 squared. So we have a 23, as you guys can see. So since it's equal to 23, it means that left hand side equal to right hand side, which means it's all correct. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best in this subject.